and humans noticed. They began to favor the calmer wolves, to feed them, eventually, to keep them close. What happened next is one of the most remarkable genetic stories in natural history. Archaeologists have found burial sites in Germany and the Czech Republic dating back 14,000 years, where dogs were buried alongside humans, positioned with care, sometimes buried with personal objects. These weren't livestock graves. These were mourning rituals. These were people burying family. And the genetics confirmed the depth of the transformation. Domestic dogs carry unique insertions in several chromosomes associated with hypersociability, including genes linked to what in humans causes Williams syndrome, a condition characterized by an extraordinary drive towards social bonding. Your dog isn't just behaviorally social. They are, at the chromosomal level, engineered for connection. Your dog sitting in that hallway isn't doing something unusual. They're doing something that's been selected for, refined, and deepened across 15 millennia of shared human life. Now, I want to tell you about a study that almost nobody talks about, because the finding seems impossible at first. Researchers tracking dogs with monitoring equipment, heart rate sensors, movement loggers, cortisol measurements, found that dogs left alone after departure routines show, in the first hour, a measurable spike in cortisol, stress hormone, elevated heart rate, increased movement, or, in some cases, a kind of behavioral freeze. Objectively, by every biological marker, the dog is under stress. But here's the paradox. When those same owners were surveyed about their departures, and crucially, about how their dogs behaved upon their return, almost universally, owners described dogs that appeared to have maintained emotional stability. Dogs that, after an adjustment period, settled, waited, and greeted them not with chaos born of distress, but with what can only be described as relief. How is that possible? The answer lies in the difference between stress and uncertainty. Dr. Alexandra Horowitz at Barnard College, one of the world's foremost dog cognition researchers, has argued compellingly that much of what we call separation anxiety in dogs is more precisely described as a cognitive response to unpredictable routine. Dogs are not primarily sad. Dogs are uncertain. They cannot read a clock. They have no calendar. They have no framework for understanding duration. When you leave, they don't know if you're coming back in an hour or a year. And yet, for most dogs with secure attachment, they wait. They orient toward the door. They hold the vigil. Maybe your dog isn't experiencing grief when you leave. Maybe they're experiencing something closer to the suspension of certainty and choosing, anyway, to trust that you'll return. That's not weakness. That's one of the bravest things a mind can do. Using heart rate variability monitors on both dogs and their owners, HRV being a nuanced measure of nervous system regulation, researchers observed something extraordinary during the moments surrounding departure and reunion. In bonded dog-owner pairs, HRV patterns showed measurable correlation. The dogs and the owner's nervous systems weren't just responding to the same event. They were tracking it in biological parallel. When the owner's stress rose, the dog's stress rose. When the owner settled, the dog's readings followed. Their nervous systems were in sync. This pattern was absent, entirely absent, when dogs were paired with unfamiliar humans. The synchronization was not a species-wide response to human presence. It was specific. It was relational. It was the signature of a particular bond, written in real-time biology. This only happens within genuinely bonded pairs. And this is where it gets deep. Because what this means is that when you leave the house, your dog doesn't just lose your company. Their nervous system loses its co-regulatory anchor. You are not just someone they love. You are, in the most literal neurological sense, part of how they stay calm. Watching you leave the house isn't just an emotional event. It's a neurological one. There's one last thing I need to tell you, and it might be the most important part of this video. If your dog has stood at that door every morning for years, that specific ritual, that hallway watch, that moment of eye contact before you go, and one day they don't pay attention. Dogs are creatures of deeply established behavioral routine. When a behavior that has been consistent for months or years disappears overnight, there is always a reason. Always. Sometimes it's environmental. A new person in the home, a new pet, a disruption in schedule that has shifted their sense of what's predictable. Sometimes the departure ritual changes before the dog's behavior does, and you won't notice the connection until you look back. But sometimes, and this is the one that matters, it's physical pain. Dogs are prey animals by evolutionary origin, which means they are neurologically wired to hide vulnerability. Limping and whimpering come late. Behavioral withdrawal comes first. A dog who stops performing a bonding ritual before any other symptom appears may be telling you, in the only language available to them, that something hurts. In older dogs, sudden behavioral changes, including the dissolution of long-established routines, can be among the earliest signs of canine cognitive dysfunction. Dog dementia affects an estimated 35% of dogs over the age of 11, and it frequently manifests first in the erosion of habitual behaviors. Your dog doesn't have words. Behavior is the only language they possess. Learn to read it. So the next time you grab your keys at 7:43 in the morning and you feel those eyes on you from the end of the hallway, that still, watchful presence that you've probably walked past 100 times without thinking about it. Remember what's actually happening. 15,000 years of evolution. A neurochemical feedback loop that no other animal on Earth shares with us in quite this way. An attachment system built in the same psychological architecture as the bond between a parent and a child. A nervous system that has learned to regulate itself against yours. All of it pointed at one thing. You are their secure base. You are the answer to the question their brain never stops asking. And when you come back, when you turn that key and push open that door, you're not just coming home. You're restoring the most ancient partnership in human history. And honestly, the science suggests that probably does something for you too. If this changed the way you see that moment every morning, subscribe to this channel and drop a comment below. I want to know, what does your dog do right before you leave? Do they watch? Do they follow? Do they disappear? Tell me below. And if you want to understand why your dog goes absolutely feral the moment you come back home, the zoom eyes, the crying, the full body trembling, that's the next video. And the neuroscience behind it is even stranger than you'd expect.